Happy holidays, everybody. This is Laura, and I'm going to be doing a frequently asked question video for my books, Crush and Bright. I'm going to probably do at least 2 to 3 videos tonight because I don't want to lump one book's questions in with another book. I want to keep the books separate. Anyway, today is December 29th. It's almost 5:30 California time p.m. The lighting in here is very poor, and I'm sorry about that. That's as good as it gets, though. The light above me burned out, and I haven't had the chance to change it yet. And I had to move my lamp a little bit to get the lighting better on me, as good as it can be. Anyway, the first question is about Crush. This would probably make question number 16 or 15 in my frequently asked Crush series, frequently asked questions. It comes from a friend of a friend. My friend Trisha has another friend who I don't know. She apparently loved the book very much, and she just had a couple of questions. The first question was, why did Tammy sleep with so many women, so many girls, so many females in high school and in college, before and after he fell in love with Jamie? And then the second question the same person posed was, wasn't Jamie jealous? Wasn't he jealous? Okay, so I will start with the first question. Timmy, in my experience, Timmy slept with a lot of girls to prove to himself that he was a man. Men in this society, they're reared and raised and encouraged to be men, and in order to be a man, unfortunately, you have to sleep with just scores of women. All his friends were this way. He was friends with a lot of jocks. He was friends with a lot of football players, a lot of athletes, and that just seems to be the norm in high school society. In their high school years, it's pretty much the mid-90s. I think it's been established, because when I first wrote Crush, I didn't really have a solid time frame. I didn't have a time period. I knew that Tammy and Jamie were both born in the late 70s, early 80s, so I knew that their high school years would be in the mid-90s. So I think it was established that Tammy graduated around 1995, or maybe 96. I think it's 95, though. And I graduated school in 1989, so it's really not a whole lot of years difference. In American high schools, the jocks are pretty much the ones that sleep with all the girls. They're very popular with girls and guys. They're always telling locker room stories about, who they screwed over the weekend, that kind of thing. So, why did Timmy sleep with so many girls? Basically, several reasons. He was lonely. He was insecure. He got that way because of his uncle. He wanted to prove to himself that he was not gay, was not in love with Jamie, and no matter what he did, no matter how many girls he slept with, he's gay. So he was trying to prove to himself that he wasn't gay. He was in denial about his own sexual orientation and about who he really wanted to be with. So that pretty much answers that. It wasn't because he was just some horn dog with no brains and just, he had reasons for doing the things that he did. And it was mainly because of how men are programmed to behave and how they're programmed to think and how they're programmed to prove their manhood to other men. I mean, this is how I feel. Sometimes I think men should just sleep together because it seems like they're trying to impress each other with all their conquests of women. If you guys if that's so important to men, just sleep with each other. Because it appears that you care about their opinion more than anybody else's. You're trying to please them. So if you love them that much, do what comes natural. Anyway. And was Jamie jealous? Of course he was jealous. There were several passages in the book about how he'd overhear people talking about Tammy. He'd hear girls talking about how Tammy had done all the girls in high school, or in their high school, and was moving on to other high schools. He was really getting around, sleeping with just about everybody that opened their legs, that kind of thing. And he'd cry, and he'd be very heartbroken. And I based that on my own experience with my first high school crush. I had a crush on a guy, and he was an athlete, football player, that kind of thing. And I heard things about him. I heard that he was into partying and, really heavy partying over the weekends. And I heard that he was, screwing everybody. And, at that tender age of 14, 15 years old, it really hurt. I probably didn't have a chance in hell with him. And even then, I was probably an asexual. I just didn't know it, like I know now. But, it just kind of, if you like somebody a lot and you hear things about them, it hurts. It really hurts you. So I based a lot of my own personal experience on Jamie and on Tammy. Just my own observing of people in high school while I was in high school. So anyway, yes, Jamie was jealous. He didn't think he'd ever be able to. At least he wanted to be close to Tammy, and he wanted to be with Tammy. But he someday somebody ought to ask the question of why was Tammy so mean to Jamie at times, because that really has an explanation too, and that contribute to Jamie's feeling so miserable and so unhappy and so wretched about being in love with somebody he can't have. Anyway, I hope this didn't confuse anybody. I tend to answer questions with way too many sentences. I should have probably stopped a minute ago. Anyway, that's the end of this video, and I'll try to answer I'm getting questions about Bright, so I'm going to do those too. Talk to you later. Bye.